Hey everyone, Jamie Plies and Sifu here with Sifu's Corner, where we answer your questions, your comments, and whatever else that you have that's on your mind. So, Brother YT Chen wrote us in and he said that the traditional Wing Chun seems to not have a straightforward answer about these two punches, and he's wondering how to handle them. He wants to know about the over the top punch and also uppercuts.
Okay. Uh, I have the answer to that, but I want to tell you the principle is the answer. The method in which you go about it, that's going to be where it comes down to your training and your ability. Okay. The simple answer of any type of punch is for Wing Chun especially, is direct line of attack. Okay. The quickest way between 2 points is a straight line. Okay. So if someone's going to go here and go over top, it's actually a little bit longer. If someone's going to go over top, it's best to cut the angle and drive the straight line. Why defend when you can attack? Why waste your energy trying to stop a punch when you can move in and basically take the preemptive strike to hit them first? That's going to come down to your training, how fast you can respond to
Right, I
someone's
think that,
movements.
if someone's going like this, there's some time lag there for you to get
Obviously,
into
what's
that.
the quickest way between 2 points? If you take it on a scientific level, the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line. So when we're going straight in, we want to go for the attack. If we're too busy defending, then we're receiving pressure. If we attack, we put pressure.
Right.
Okay. In terms of the uppercuts, angles and lines of attacks are the best. Okay. In terms of creating a counter, a lot of times when people are throwing uppercuts and they're coming tight, the best things that you can do is just angle them or create the line attack by cutting angles or cutting the sides and using your legs as your means to attack. Especially if a guy's like 6'2", he's got long arms. His arms are probably as long as your legs. So unless you can close in the distance and get the strike in or hook him along the neck to prevent his body from creating power shots, you really, really want to basically shoot in and take the strike first. Now that doesn't mean strike and lose guard. Okay, and what I mean by that is just throw a punch and drop everything. The idea of any type is to keep the arms tight, close in, and you can see my arms are in the way. So when I create the shots, I'm more like that. If a guy's real close to you, you're talking about, okay, what if he was close like this? Well, then you let him in too close, okay, without connecting to him. I would never allow a guy this close and not have my guard into him. In other words, if I'm this close already, I will have arm contact. I will have my control on his arm somewhere. I will not allow that guy that close without any physical contact into his arms or his body. If he stepped in that close for a strike, I'm naturally going to go for the strike first, okay? If you're from distance and you see him want to close in, like tag from distance and try to close in, use your legs. It's the best way to stop a guy from marching in first. So use your legs as your first primary example of how to attack a guy if he's maintaining a distance. If they're boxers who wants to keep the distance from you, you basically use your legs. Watch his weight. Watch when his body moves forward. Once he does, he can't stop that leg from lifting up because he committed to the floor. If you're allowing a guy within striking range, you should have struck, like I said. You should not be sitting here waiting to respond to a guy, wait and moving away. You shouldn't do that because you're allowing him to put the pressure on you. You allow him to aggress you. The key is when you're here and you can see a guy coming in on you, you really want to just create the attack in and move in. Go for the attack. Best analogy I can say is like if a guy had a knife and he comes at you with a hard lunge and you had a gun, would you want to defend the knife off you first or would you go for the attack? You would go for the attack because your belief is that bullet, if it hits, will be enough to stop them. So you go for the attack. Your fists are bullets. Your fingers are bullets. Your whole entire body is a weapon. You should use that and put in your mindset that you're not defending him. You should go into him. Lots of time when people put all their energy into a strike, most of their force and their focus is in that movement. It's not in the defensive side. It's in the offensive side. So you need to learn how to move in and take that shot. And remember, the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line. Go for that. Don't do your hands and go like this and go up. You're taking too long. We talked about this in the videos before, that the best way to create very fast strikes is to go forward from your hands. So you want to get those hands up fast. And you also want to move in close because if they're hitting me from here and I move in, I'm actually moving away from the intended target strike. So those are the two things that I can say, like, you want to create, move in, take the attack. Don't get away from it. Most of the times we can't attack because we're too busy trying to block. And that's not what you want. You want to have your guard up to intercept if you have it. but mainly focus on your strike. Don't focus on the block. Lots of what we train is not about she punches me. It's not about trying to stop the punch. It's about creating the attack behind it. So I'm actually hitting her arm as I'm hitting her face. I'm not here to block her. I'm here to attack her. So the one who's more aggressive is the one who's going to put the pressure on the other person. And more often than not, that's the person that's going to have the advantage. Not necessarily they'll win, but they have the advantage. Just like shooting 20 feet above someone, they have the advantage over the guy below. Doesn't mean that the guy below can't shoot him, it's just going to be a lot harder. So be the one that creates pressure. Be the one that creates the attack. Don't be the one that blocks. I always say don't receive a punch, create one. So you're not blocking hands like this, you're receiving. That's you want to create one where you're attacking back. That takes the pressure off you, puts the pressure on him. And then it comes down to who's skilled, because if they can counter you too, it's a matter than your training, what you can do back and forth.
And if you properly hit the other person,
they hurt.
It hurts.
Yes,
They're not going to really want to swing back.
Yeah. And in terms of uppercut, like I said, it depends. Uppercuts are very, very varied. Some are very tight like this. Some are up to the chin. Some goes to the body. Some people will lunge out far. Basic concept, basic principles. Go for the line attack. Keep your center. Go use your arms to guard, and just go for the attack. If you're too busy trying to defend, you're not busy enough attacking. You should create counterattacks, not defensive movements. So that's the best answer I can give you. Because like I said, there are variations of different punches, so you can't say one will handle all.
Right.
It just depends. But the basic principle is don't defend, counterattack. Don't receive a punch, give one. And that's the best answer I can give you in terms of how you got to do it. That comes down to your training. I mean, that really comes down to what you're training. It's better to hit him, knock him down, than it is to try and block him and get knocked down. Okay? So that's the basic answer I can give for anybody, for any type of punches, really, that concept. Especially that's a Wing Chun concept. Don't defend, attack, or counterattack.
I have a question. So when, if ever, would we actually want to do this? It seems like this would be a bad idea.
That's
like
just
this.
style.
So I'm just wondering if
that's style. That's just a style. Some people will do it. They can do it as a setup. Like I can do a jab, boom, and then get in there. So that can work because you can feign a guy out. You can set a guy up. So they have their purposes. Right. It's just a question of how you use it. If you're going straight off the bat, you're probably telegraphing the guy. But a jab can work, a kick combination. They work great in combination. So it's not ineffective. It's just if you do it straight off the bat, you're exposing it. But if you could distract them with a jab, then a punch, or a kick and a punch, or stop your feet down, make them look down. Feigning techniques. In combinations, that's where they will work well.
All right. Well, that's a bonus tip for you.
That comes down to your training. Then, are you going to get feigned? Are you going to be caught up looking at the punch rather than going for the punch? That comes down to your training.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Sifu.
If
you have any questions for Sifu, this is Sifu's Corner. Write us below. Let us know, and we'll get you next time.